guys, welcome to Marketing by Jay. Uh, I'm Jay. I have an experience of over 5 years in the field of marketing. I specialize in digital marketing and social media. And I decided that, there was a lot of knowledge that I wanted to share and a lot of people who would enjoy getting some of it. So I will be doing these free classes on YouTube, once a week, where I'll be talking about something related to marketing, whether it's different models, and you can always comment down below if there's something that's specific that you need to learn in marketing. Obviously, there are some places where, your feedback would be appreciated. Anyways, so that was my introduction. And today we're talking about something very specific. So, I am pursuing MBA. And over the years, after working in marketing, there are a few things I've observed, especially in the industry, as well as, the students who want to pursue marketing. And there's a general belief that if you're very creative, marketing is the field for you, which might not completely be true. Yes, there's a certain level of creativity involved in marketing, but essentially that's not the whole of it, right? Marketing as a whole field has subsets, right? Advertising, media, copywriting, so on and so forth. And, all these subsets have people who are professional in those subsets, right? So you have to sometimes niche down if you are looking at a singular quality. But if you want to look at marketing as a whole, right, and that is something that you want to pursue, just creativity doesn't help. And I see that people understand this way after they've made their selection of specialization in the field. So I think, even in my college right now, we are looking at specializations, and I think this video would help even my classmates in doing so, right? So when you talk about marketing, marketing essentially does not only entail creativity, creative ideation, advertising. There's a lot of data analysis also involved, as well as a lot of technical knowledge in the field of consumer psychology, right? What happens is essentially people have a very big misconception on two levels. On one level, they feel that marketing is solely dependent on creativity and there's some level of only technical knowledge involved, whereas the reality is it's a combination of two, three things, right? You have data analysis, you have psychology, and all of these things, when they combine together, you get marketing. And when you talk about the other misconception that people have, is that marketing and sales are one thing. Reality is the goal of marketing is to generate sales, whereas sales is the action that is done to generate revenue, right? So oftentimes you will find people who work in the field of marketing who are good at sales, but essentially it is not a necessity. You are not always going to do sales, but you are going to increase the sales of your company by doing quality marketing, right? And you'll understand as we go forward and we make different videos about this. But essentially you need to first on the top remember these things. Now let's say you're interested in marketing. What are the things that you need to learn? There are different models in marketing that are used when you talk about digital marketing, when you talk about media buying, when you talk about media planning. There's a lot involved which needs to be figured out, and that is a very technical part of things. For example, let's take a very, very basic model involved in marketing called the AIDA model or AIDA. Essentially, what this model believes or what this model states is that when people are unaware about your product, you are at the A level of the funnel, which is basically your attention or awareness place, right? Now, what happens is here the targeting is different. Here, your creatives are going to be different, your strategy is going to be different, because here people are unaware about your product, right? As you move to the next level, which is the interest, right? The interest part of things is where things change a little. In the interest part of things, what happened is people already know about your product and they're slightly interested. So this is where your model changes. Here you're looking at consumer education. Here you want people to learn more about your product. Why? To move them to the next stage, which is desire. This is where people want your product, right? This is very, very close to the finish line. And this is where your strategy is now going to change to inculcate that desire to buy the product in your people. And finally, when you go to the action part, this is where people already know about your product, they're interested in your product, they desire to buy the product. You just have to facilitate the action for them, right? And here your strategy is completely going to be dependent with the idea of sales, right? So you go from knowledge to sales, and this is just one of the models that people in marketing follow. But essentially, this IDA model is at the core of everything that we do, because it is based on the basic human psychology. Now, I had a very nice economics professor when I was in 11th, and this professor told me that economics is not essentially the study about finance and economy of the country, but rather people's psychology towards money. And here also you're doing something similar. Marketing is nothing but the study and utilization of consumers' buying habits and buying psychology, right? So from this you could have understood that a fair bit of technical knowledge is also required in marketing. And oftentimes than not, most people who are opting for the marketing specialization in an MBA or in any course for that matter don't realize that there's a lot more involved in terms of technical analysis, data analysis, applications that you need to know in marketing. So if you are at that cusp of specialization where you're trying to choose whether you're going to take marketing, whether you're going to take finance, HR, evaluate it on complete information. None of the subjects are going to be useful to you based on a singular quality, right? Marketing is a whole sphere of things, right? There are a lot of sub-specializations in marketing, but if you're looking at marketing as a whole, it includes a lot of things. So the crux of this is that if you're someone who's thinking of choosing a different specialization or who's thinking of switching to the marketing side of things, understand that creativity alone isn't going to sell you, or the ability to do data analysis alone or digital marketing alone is not going to be enough. If you want to get into core marketing, you need to mix a lot of these things well, right? So that was like an introduction to marketing, what I feel marketing is, and what I feel would help people choose marketing or understand what they're getting into.